Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a huge leak in pretty much every online business, the abandoned shopping cart. It's this silent problem that costs businesses a fortune, but here's the thing, there's a really powerful way to fix it. So let's kick things off with a number that'll really show you the scale of this thing.
Okay, take a look at this number. 69.8%. What is that? Well, according to industry research, that's the global average for cart abandonment. Let that sink in. For every 10 people who go to the trouble of adding something to their cart, almost 7 of them just disappear. They leave without buying. That is a staggering amount of potential money just poof, gone.
So, you gotta ask, right? Where do all these shoppers go? What possibly could have made them change their mind at the very last minute? And, the most important question for anyone running an online store is, how do you get them back? How do you get them to finish what they started? That, right there, is the billion-dollar question we're gonna dive into.
All right, so to even start answering that question, we first need to get a handle on the why. Let's dig in and figure out exactly why all these shoppers are leaving in the first place.
So, lucky for us, the Baymart Institute did a ton of research on this. And when they asked people, hey, why'd you leave? Putting aside the folks who were just browsing, 3 main reasons really popped. Number 1, and this is the big one, unexpectedly high shipping costs. Total deal breaker. Next up, being forced to create an account. Ugh, nobody likes that. And finally, the delivery was just going to take too long. But here's the thing, and this is the really good news. Every single one of those reasons we just talked about, shipping, making an account, long delivery, they are all solvable problems. Every one of them. And that brings us to our secret weapon for getting it done.
So what's the plan? How do we fix this?
Well, the single most effective tool in your entire arsenal for getting those sales back is the abandoned cart email. Okay, so what even is that? It's actually really simple. An abandoned cart email is just an automated, a triggered email. It gets sent to any customer who added stuff to their cart, but then bailed before finishing checkout. It's a direct, kind of personal nudge reminding them about what they left behind. And why do these things work so well? It's because you're not just shouting into the void here. You're talking to warm leads. These are people who were this close to buying. They already showed they wanted your product. That makes this a super low-cost, crazy effective way to get that revenue back. And the best part? You set it up once, and it just runs for you, 24/7, on complete autopilot.
All right, so you're probably thinking, great, I'll just start sending these emails. But hold on. To really make this work, you need a smart strategy. Because it turns out that when you send the email is every bit as important as what's in it.
So here's the playbook the pros use, a 3-email sequence. Email number 1 goes out within a few hours. It's just a gentle reminder, right? Hey, did you forget something? Maybe their boss walked in, maybe the dog started barking. The second email, that comes about a day or 2 later. It's a simple follow-up. But that third email, sent after 72 hours, that's often the game changer. This is your moment to offer a little something extra to get them across the finish line. Okay, we've got the what and the when down. Now let's talk about the how. What actually goes into an email that gets someone to come back and buy? First things first, and this is probably the most important part, you have to sound like a real person, not some corporate robot. Everything from the subject line that makes them even open it, to the words you use inside, and the button they click. It all has to be human. The copy is absolutely critical. And the experts really hammer this point home. Take it from Brandon Mattis at Luxor Marketing, who says you've got to keep your abandoned checkout emails straightforward. The goal here isn't to write an epic novel. It's to make things as simple as humanly possible. Just remove any friction and make it a no-brainer for them to come back and finish. Sometimes the reason they hesitated wasn't the price. It was trust. They might be thinking, is this product actually any good? Or is this a legit company? That's where social proof comes in. By adding things like customer reviews or star ratings, especially for the exact item they were looking at, you can just melt that doubt away in an instant. Okay, remember that third email in our little sequence, the 72-hour one? This is where you bring out the big guns. We're talking about a powerful psychological nudge. Offer up a time-sensitive incentive. Think a small discount or free shipping that's going to disappear soon. That creates a little bit of urgency, that FOMO, and it could be just the push a buyer on the fence needs. And think about it. This goes right back to what we saw earlier. Belle Murray from SmartBug Media points this out perfectly. She says that since shipping cost is such a common reason people leave, a one-time free shipping offer is a great way to give them a nudge.
See how that works? You're directly solving their problem. So the key is to try and match your incentive to whatever roadblock they might have hit.
Okay, theory is one thing, but I want to show you how this actually looks in the wild. We're going to check out two completely different but equally brilliant examples of abandoned cart emails that just work. First up, we've got an email from Whiskey Loot, and you've got to love this subject line: "Your cart is sobering up." I mean, come on, that's clever, it's funny, and it is 100% on brand. You see that in your inbox, you're going to open it. No question.
So what's the magic here? Well, yeah, there's the humor, but it's more than that. The email focuses on the value of the experience, not just buy my stuff. It also does something really smart. It anticipates questions and includes a little FAQ section to smooth over any doubts. And the call to action button? It's not a boring complete purchase. It's something creative that fits the whole vibe. It's just a masterclass.
All right, now let's do a complete 180. Check out this approach from the brand UGMonk. The subject line is simply offering you my personal email. Whoa. Right away, that feels different. It doesn't scream marketing email at all.
This thing is just genius in its simplicity. It's a plain text email, no fancy graphics. It feels like the owner of the company sat down and personally wrote it just to you. It creates this immediate human connection. It basically says, "Hey, did something go wrong? Can I help?" And then there's a simple link back to your cart. It totally shatters the mold of what we expect from marketing, and because of that, it stands out a mile.
So there you have it. We've looked at the problem, the solution, and a couple of killer examples. So now let's bring it all home. Let's talk about you. Because right now, you've got abandoned carts just sitting there, waiting.
And the very first step you should take is to figure out your own numbers. The formula is super simple. Just take the number of carts that were abandoned, divide that by the total number of carts people started, and then multiply it by 100. That percentage, that's your number. That's going to tell you just how big this opportunity really is for your business.
And really, that leads us to the final, most important question. Now that you know all this, now that you have these strategies, you have to ask yourself, how much money is just sitting there right now in your abandoned carts? And what are you going to do to go get it?